Although he never considered himself a philosopher, Marcus Aurelius' writings and meditations have left a profound legacy within Stoic philosophy. Meditations contains Marcus' notes to himself, reminders of Stoic ideas about embracing fate and living in harmony with nature. He writes not to want things as we wish, but rather to accept what the universe presents and adjust our own perspective. Marcus says, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This sentiment reminds us of the value of flexibility in our outlook on life, and the need to be strict only with ourselves. Most of us, though, live with a certain unspoken contract with life, that our desires should be met, that our days should unfold pleasantly, and that life will give us the people and opportunities we think will make us happy. We want friends who support us, youth that lasts forever, success in our ambitions, and a life free of misfortune. And often, when faced with our flaws and limitations, we resist. We reject the parts of ourselves we dislike. There's an endless wanting in human nature and very little accepting. But the more we want from the world, the more susceptible we become to disappointment. In reality, as Marcus frequently reminds himself, life will confront us with adversity, bring us face to face with unpleasant people, and impose limitations on our bodies and capabilities. In a universe where we lack control over so much, Marcus advises, reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. If we resist these unavoidable truths, we make ourselves emotionally dependent on what's outside of our control. Instead, Marcus reminds himself to love only what happens, what was destined. No greater harmony. So what does it mean to live with acceptance rather than opposition? Marcus believed it began with people. Imagine someone makes an offensive remark toward you. A typical reaction might be anger, but Marcus would say, the offense lies not in the insult itself but in your reaction to it. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. He encouraged himself to look past the words, to see the nature of the person saying them, and to choose his own response. People will act according to their nature. They will praise and criticize, help and harm. Why let their actions disturb our own peace? Marcus once wrote, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are this way because they can't tell good from evil. His wisdom teaches us to focus on our own minds, rather than becoming entangled in others' behaviors. Acceptance, for Marcus, also means embracing the fleeting nature of all things. The great empires, thinkers, and artists who came before us, who once occupied so much space in their own world, they all turned to dust. He compares human lives to leaves on a tree, each generation falling away only to be replaced. The world is nothing but change, he writes, our life is only perception. Reflecting on this, he reminds himself of life's impermanence. When we cling to things as though they'll last, we invite sorrow. In acknowledging this transience, we free ourselves to live fully in the present, rather than anxiously trying to make moments last. Yet, even when we know life's nature, misfortune strikes. We may suffer illness, lose loved ones, or fail in our pursuits. Most people wish for a life free of hardship, but Marcus challenges this expectation, recognizing that adversity is inevitable. He writes, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Instead of hoping to avoid misfortune, he suggests we build the resilience to face it with courage. The Stoic idea of the dichotomy of control is relevant here. Some things are within our control, and others are not. Marcus encourages us to direct our energy only where we have influence. He once advised, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Lastly, Marcus recognized that change is the very essence of nature. Our bodies, relationships, and the world itself are in constant flux. Just as our cells renew, so too does the universe constantly reshape itself. Even the seemingly unchanging landscapes will eventually yield to time's steady hand. Change, Marcus muses, is nature's delight. This acceptance of change doesn't mean we lack principles, rather, it means that we welcome whatever comes our way. We let life flow, like water, without clinging to the present moment, knowing another is soon to follow. And reflecting on all this, Marcus teaches us that true peace isn't found in bending the world to our will, but in bending our will to meet the world. If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them. And it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now. His words challenge us to find joy in this natural order, not through wishing it away, but by greeting it with open arms, even when it brings us hardship. Marcus Aurelius believed that by cultivating a mindset of acceptance, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Life will always offer new challenges, but with a spirit of acceptance, we can approach these changes with calm and even appreciation. So, as we navigate our lives, perhaps we can draw from Marcus' wisdom and remind ourselves, stop wanting, start accepting.